Hello, beautiful souls. This is Erica here, psychic medium, quantum healer, and spiritual guide. And I'm here today to talk about and dive deeper about going through a spiritual awakening and the pain and the solitude associated with it. Well, many of us from time immemorial have walked this path for higher awareness, for higher knowing, for just uplifting our consciousness and lifting out the veil of the illusion and falsehoods in this planet. And this path comes with a lot of challenges. Challenges of judgment, challenges of isolation, challenges of even feeling more separated than ever after going through a spiritual awakening. And there's a little bit of a combination of things why we feel separate and why we feel all this pain that is associated with it. Because we are here in a matrix that has been hijacked to harvest energy and to harvest negative emotions. And part of the agenda is to make us feel fear, separate, disempowered, desperate, you name it. Part of the awakening is knowing that as an infinite being, we get to decide, we get to choose how we feel and how we go through life and how we can navigate our emotions. So the breaking of that illusion comes with pain, because as being in a physical body, as having this temple, this avatar, it comes with its inherent weights. So one of them is the DNA that we carry from our ancestors, the energetic DNA too, that it has encoded information of the pain, of the tribulations, of the hardship, of the sadness. All that trauma gets stored in the cells and it gets passed down to the mitochondria of the mother. So when we are born, we come to this vessel even though we could be from other higher dimensions, as an old soul, as an indigo, as an star seed. We come into the physical vessel and we inherit part of the trauma, part of the density through the physical body. So when we start our awakening, when we start getting more conscious about how things work and who we really are, there is like for lack of a better word, a fight between our knowing and the density of the flesh. And it takes a minute, because I always talk about the body as being the caboose. Spiritually, we can feel so light, so advanced, but the body weighs us down, and it takes a little longer for the body to catch up and upgrade spiritually. So all the density that we're feeling is actually through the physical body. So when we start having awarenesses of who we are and going through the process of spiritual awakening, understanding ourselves better, understanding and accepting our shadows, it gives us a sense of remembrance, a remembrance of our spiritual nature. So that is in conflict with all of the dynamics of this paradigm, with all of the made up simulation to keep us stuck, to keep us separate, and to keep us divided in this illusion of disempowerment. So when we start understanding and we start lightening up the body, there's a conflict. There is a conflict with the environment too, because we can see a little bit deeper. We can understand some of the dynamics that are playing out around us, and we start to understand that not everybody around us, even family, even if they're connected through blood, they don't desire our highest good. And that causes turmoil in our inner knowing, in our emotions, in our emotional body. It causes sadness. part of the process. There's a part of us that needs to die per se in order to upgrade into that higher, more conscious and elevated self. And it's up to us if we're going to go through it with pain, adding more acceptance and embracing it as it is, as we're not the only ones that have walked this path. We see it even in nature. With elder animals in the wild are finding their last hours, they seek solitude. They look for the most remote space in nature to die alone with dignity, with presence, feeling all the pains, breathing their last breath in a sacred space. And as we have inherited many things from our ancestors, one of them is seeking solitude for rebirthing, from growing from within, from the ashes, from the pain, from the trauma, from the tribulations. So making that space sacred. It doesn't have to be so isolating. In the spiritual path, we're always going to find all of those that are in a similar situation, seeking higher consciousness, seeking to understand life better, being more present, more aware. And in that process, we get to meet others, and we get to know ourselves even better. So my wish to you is to understand that this solitude and this pain that we feel as we are awakening is not disempowerment. It's not punishment. It's a superpower that we get to endure, and we get to be present with our sorrow and our shadows and our pain, and raise even higher from it. When we are able to look at it, to all the pain points, to all the disturbing parts of us and the illusion crumbling around us, there is clarity, there is spaciousness. When we start seeing it as a problem, then we start participating in the triad of victim, victimizer, rescuer, and then being victimized from the indifferent. And that's part of the illusion. We're all unique in our own ways, but we are more close together than we can even imagine energetically. So the moment that we understand these things lighten up a bit, we go through life with more ease. Many people avoid this path. There is an inner knowing about the pain, the discomfort. A majority of people want fun and easy and effortless. That's why there's so many distractions in the world. Sex, food, binging programs, alcohol, you name it. Escapism at its highest form, sold as luxury and entertainment. But there's so much power with being present. There's so much power with solitude. Is that remembrance. Is that remembrance that even though we are social creatures and we thrive in our environment, in our community, our own happiness, our own joy doesn't depend on others. And part of experiencing that solitude and that temporary separation that we feel as we are awakening is to go more inward and find that strength, and find that the most reliable person in your life is you, that the most important person in your life is you. And as you get to know yourself better, you start creating sacred boundaries that were never in place, that you allowed everybody and you welcome everybody in your life. But when you get to understand yourself, you understand that not everybody has to have access to you and to your energy, and you understand your energy as a sacred resource. And your energy gets to be shared consciously, not distracting, not entertaining others, not contorting, not origamiing yourself to please others, to make others happy. When you're happy, when your temple is tidy and kept at its best, you know its value, you know its strength, you know your worth. You don't settle for less. You don't accept little pieces of others. You want fullness because you're full. So that's why this perceived solitude and isolation is so important, because we don't get to know ourselves and the depths of ourselves in the noise, in the busyness, in the chaos. We get to know ourselves in those moments of presence, of stillness, of quiet. And yes, sometimes those moments make us shed some tears, make our hearts constrict. But it is a form of transcendence. It's a form of letting some part of us vanish for a new one to emerge. We get to see that when we move through life with more presence, not avoiding the pain, not avoiding the sadness, sitting with it, sitting with the discomfort and understanding where it's coming from. Many times comes from our ancestry, many times comes from wounds that we carry from our childhood. But see it, question it, observe it. Don't escape from it, because it's going to keep coming back again and again until you're ready to face it. And when you face it, that's when the magic happens. That's what the alchemist does. Completely transmutes, completely transforms the pain into strength, into power, into another element. And that's why we go through these phases in life, because it's not just once. And all of us that have walked in the spiritual path for longer than 20 years, talking about myself, we go through these cycles of death and rebirth as many times as is required, as many times that we need to shed layers of the illusion and layers of things that are not real about ourselves and about how we perceive life. When we are resisting it, we experience the most pain. When we are in acceptance, it goes with more ease. Observe, question, being silent, being present. So for us, I really wanted to include an activation, and this is a channel meditation for you to embody more clarity, have better discernment about your choices, about your life, and to have that certainty within you that yes, even though this is difficult, it is the right thing for me, for my journey, for my path. So I invite you to take a comfortable position and start taking a few deep breaths. And bringing your awareness to your heart center, at the center of your chest, imagining that your heart is like a big balloon that is growing in size in all directions. Blowing that big balloon in all directions. And you're receiving through your heart and through all of you support from the divine, from higher realms, for your journey, for your life, for your knowing. Just allow all of your body to settle and receive. And if you have difficulty focusing, I just invite you to say in your mind, I allow myself to receive. I allow myself to receive. And so many times the body is so programmed and guarded that we prevent ourselves even from receiving what is supportive and beneficial for us. So you're feeling distracted and uneasy, just tell yourself, I allow myself to receive these few moments just for me. Allowing all your fascia below your skin to receive, to upgrade, to let your body anchor more photonic light. Letting your organs, your cells renew and regenerate for the most optimal and beneficial for you. Letting all that guard down, those walls, those barriers. Because as an infinite being, knowing, all-knowing, you don't need protection. You're always safe. You're always protected. But our own trauma, it just layers up so many walls and barriers. And articulate around it like armor. If you can just consciously let that guard down and allow yourself to receive that infinite love that is available to all of us when we're open to it, when we want to claim it. And just breathing frequencies of acceptance and love flowing through your heart from all directions, above, below, and all sizes. Breathing the light of who you are. Breathing in more knowing, more awareness into your being, into your consciousness. Letting go down all of those perceived limitations, all that perceived separation. And acknowledging for a minute all of the spiritual support around you. And even though it might feel invisible for the most part, it's always there. And all you need to do is ask. As they respect our free will, they would always wait for us to ask. Ask for support. Ask for clarity. Ask for understanding. And receive. And just letting your field settle, reset, and upgrade. But you're just being present with your body, allowing to feel your body more fully. And keep expanding from your heart as you're breathing from that big balloon, growing in size in all directions. And as we're breathing, we are connecting to all that is, to the quantum field. As all the potentialities already exist. And who will we be in that timeline where we are fully acceptant of life, of ourselves? We're joyful. We are content with who we are. What would it take to accelerate, to quantum jump into that timeline of full acceptance, which is not fighting the outcomes that come through life? You're just going through life with ease and grace, and having the wisdom, the discernment when things come. Having ease in your being, in the way you move through life. Allowing to receive frequencies that are being transmitted from the beginning of this recording. And I invite you to place both hands on your chest and just breathe in and acknowledging your being like a seed at the center of your chest. And you're allowing to anchor more of you, more the nomadic self into this physical plane. More of your knowing, more of your ancient wisdom, all of you here, not separate, not divided, fully encoded into you. Breathing in, allowing all this information come to you at the right time, as an inspiration, as an intuition, as a just knowing. You just know because you know. What are the best steps for you? What is the most appropriate and beneficial for you? And breathing and accepting. Knowing that this path doesn't have to be painful and lonely. Here we get to choose how we go through it. And inviting more ease and more grace into your life. And inviting a divine team to support you in that becoming, to be fully you. Expanding your journey. And breathing in and sensing your body. And an invitation for you to start journaling, to start connecting to you and questioning your emotions, questioning your feelings, questioning your beliefs, and now escaping from those findings, just being fully present, releasing judgment and turning more into observation, observing as a neutral observer.